my biblical question. I have a biblical question. And my biblical question is, do you believe in interracial dating and marriage? A whole lot of people are doing it now. Do you believe in interracial dating or marriage? That's my biblical question for this week. All right? I feel like my throat is cut off and all my voice is staying in my chest. And the reason I asked the biblical question, so that you can know that you know that you know. You know for yourself. Examine thyself. And because you don't want to go with the crowd. The worst mistake you can make in life is to follow the crowd. You want to take that straight and narrow path. That straight and narrow path. All right? So I want to go to Barry out of Atlanta, Georgia.
You doing all right this morning?
I'm a little hoarse. I'm losing my voice, and my throat is a little sore.
Well, maybe we can pray about that later, and God will heal you.
It's working. Thank you.
My cousin just actually married a white woman, so that's a very interesting.
Is he black?
Question you have this morning.
Your cousin is black?
Yes, sir. I'm the black atheist. I called you last week, I think.
Do you believe in interracial dating and marriage?
I personally don't like white women, but I love people. I'm just not really attracted to white women. But I think it's fine. I mean, I think.
Give me a yes or no first. Do you believe in interracial dating and marriage?
Yes, sir. I answered it. I said I think it's fine. So yes, I do agree with it.
Would you do it?
I'm sorry?
Would you do it?
Maybe if it, like I said, I'm not attracted to white women, but like if it was like a Latino woman or something like that, Jennifer Lopez, yeah, I'd do it.
Why aren't you attracted to white women?
I'm just not. I'm just not. When they get old, they fall apart. You know, I'm just not really attracted to white women.
All right, go ahead.
You know, I'm not going to, like, if it was the other way around, I'm a black male, so if it was the other way around, I'm not going to marry the other person, so why would I care if somebody else decides to? Like, it's not, if I'm not attracted to white women, why would I have a problem with my cousin marrying a white woman? Because I'm not going to marry her. Her goal may be to get married, have kids, or have a family.
Okay.
You know, so
well, I appreciate that.
I'm not going to stop anybody from that.
Well, thanks for responding to that. Thank you. Let me go to T out of Tennessee. Do you want to take a stab at my biblical question?
Well, Jesse,
do you believe in
interracial women?
I'm sorry?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Do you believe in interracial dating and marriage?
You know, I do, because as I was saying, I have two uncles that are married to white women. And, you know, for me, Jesse, you know, it's about who you love and who, you know, treats you right and whatnot. Now, for myself, it's a little different because I guess I'm more of a cultural person when it comes to certain things. And somebody black, you know, for me, you know, can kind of, you know, we kind of understand each other and whatnot because of the culture. So I don't know if it would be, you know, I don't know if it would be for me. I'm not saying it's impossible, but, you know, if you love somebody.
And I'm not just talking about white interracial marriage. I mean, interracial marriage, period. So you don't believe in it, right?
Well, I do believe in it.
But I thought you said it wasn't for you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is a personal thing for me. It's not that I don't believe in it.
But if you don't believe in it, for you that means that you don't believe in it.
Well, I mean, again, just see, for me, I said it's not about believing or not.
No, but I asked you, what did you believe?
Well, okay. So I do believe in it. And if somebody that was white loves me, and you know, because I could change my mind.
But it's not just white, though. I mean, I don't mean just black and white.
It doesn't matter.
Mexican, whatever race.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So you do believe in it?
Well, that's what I said, Jesse. I mean, I do, you know, and And, I can change my mind, but I'm saying, for me at this particular time. But it doesn't mean that I can never change.
Let's start
Anybody
all
can
over.
change.
Let's start all over. Do you, T, believe in interracial dating and marriage?
I do.
You do.
Yes, I do.
So it is something you would do.
Yes, if the situation was right, correct.
But I thought you said you wouldn't do it.
Well, again, like I said, Jesse, it's not as simple as that for me. It's not that cut and dried for me. But
so
again,
give me a yes or no.
I never say never.
So would you do it?
Yes, I would.
So you do believe in it?
I do. But as I said, it's more cut and dry than that for me.
T, thank you for your call. Jack is the first-time caller out of Washington, D.C.
Actually, I have a first earlier question you asked about the marrying to a different race. I personally won't do it.
Do you support interracial dating and marriage?
No.
And why not?
That would be a bigger conflict in the future.
Oh, okay. All right.
I personally won't do it. I'm not afraid of it. I just speak on my mind.
Right on. Well, I appreciate your upfront answer. Thank you. Brandon is out of Houston, Texas.
I wanted to address the biblical question.
Do you support interracial dating and marriage?
No, man, not really. No, I don't. Not for myself. I think it's kind of borrowing trouble. Especially if you want to have kids, you're kind of giving them a disadvantage. It's already hard, and you're confusing them, and you're just asking for some trouble that you don't necessarily need.
I appreciate the feedback, Brandon. Thank you. So Maria answered to the biblical question. This is from Maria. Both man and woman come to the truth. Then it would be okay to date and eventually marry. It could take a few years though. But that's not answering the question, Maria. I want to know, do you believe in interracial dating or marriage? KT responded, a.k.a. Story of the Black Conservative, gave super chat and wrote, thanks for the super chat, KT, and wrote, I believe in interracial dating, but not intercultural dating. Intercultural relationships don't work. Majority of them fail. I don't understand that. I don't know, Joel. Joel's like, what that mean? Oh, he married an Asian girl. Of course. Oh, this is KT, huh? KT is married to an Asian, so she's a different culture. But she's also a different race.
I think I see. She's a different race, but not her culture.
Is American?
Right. I don't think I don't think they mix cultures. Like his culture and her culture, they don't mix. They're both American Christians type thing.
And he think that's okay?
Right.
Lord have mercy. So they have the same culture by being American, but different race. But, okay, interesting. He doesn't believe in interracial, but intercultural.
No. He doesn't. He believes in interracial, but doesn't believe in culture.
And do you support that?
Me?
Uh-huh.
I don't know about the culture thing, but I do believe in the interracial thing.
You believe? Oh, of course. You believe in interracial dating and marriage?
Yes.
I wonder why.
I'm an interracial baby, and my brothers and sisters are interracial babies.
Meaning what?
I mean that we're mixed.
But your mama and daddy are black.
My mom is Creole, my dad's black.
But a Creole is a black. What is it?
It's like a mix between. It has black in it, but it has French, Spanish mix, and then a little bit of black. That's why my mom is fair, light skin.
Oh, that sounds like a gumbo.
White, right? Cajun.
Yeah. Robby, thanks for calling, and thanks for holding. You're on the air.
Hi.
Hey, Robby.
Responding, I want to answer the question you had about interracial dating.
Yes. Do you believe in interracial dating and marriage?
Yes, they do.
And why?
Because God doesn't really care about, what color you are and the outer appearance.
And how do you know that?
And, well, remember Moses married a Ethiopian woman.
I remember that.
And when people mocked him and his wife, Jesus, I believe he made those people who mocked them get leprosy.
But you know why that happened, though, right? Why they got that?
Because they were mocking.
No, because they judged, they hate it. And because
Right.
you have to, you need to see injustice or wrongdoing without hate. And I'm not saying, if interracial dating is wrong or not, but you have to see it, but don't hate it. Don't judge injustice, but see it for what it is. And they judged it. And that's why what they put out came back on them. They didn't just see it. They had an opinion about it.
I understand. Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
Robby, thank you, man. Good input. I appreciate it. Travis,
What's up?
do you want to take a stab at my biblical question before we get rolling?
Sure, yeah.
Do you believe in interracial dating and marriage?
I am in an interracial relationship. So,
You are?
Yeah. And,
So you're a white guy, right?
I am, red-blooded American white.
Okay, and you're in an integrated situation right now?
Integrated.
Interracial situation right now?
Yeah.
Really? And what are you dating? What
Well,
color?
I'm lucky because she's kind of like a Creole. Creole, I think that's the right way to say it.
So a black woman.
But she's got more like white skin.
Oh, I feel better. So, are you dating a black woman or not?
Yeah.
Because you try to make her white. Oh, yeah, I'm dating a black woman, but she's not really black. She's Creole.
Right.
She look white.
I eat with my eyes.
So you're dating a black woman who's a Creole.
Yeah, her father's from Georgia, so I think it's got some Creole in there. So
And so you believe, you believe in interracial dating and marriage?
believe. Well, I mean that's an interesting word for the question because to have a belief in something, right, is to have a conviction towards it. So I believe.
A
in
little
interracial.
louder for me?
I believe in interracial.
You do?
Yeah, relationships. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really not believe in them, right?
I'm sorry?
You can't really not believe in them.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, it's not like, people don't get in interracial relationships,
A lot of things people do.
Yeah, but it's what I'm saying is that if I didn't believe in them, would that mean that they just didn't exist?
Things exist that you don't have to believe in.
Sure.
Thank you.
I was a little late today. My alarm decided to go silent when I woke up. It was like 5:30, so I had to rush here, but I got here.
You sound like a black person.
I don't know
And
what's
I know
up with my
why
phone.
that is.
Because phones hate black people.
No, you have a black mentality.
I know it. My girlfriend tells me that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's dating a black girl.
Yeah.
And so he think that way. He act that way. Do you act black or white?
It's rubbing off on me, her blackness.
When I see you, and so how long you been interning here now?
5 weeks?
5 weeks already?
I think so.
Wow.
Maybe.
I don't think of you as a white guy. You seem like a light-skinned
Sure.
black guy.
Like a mulatto.
So you became like your environment?
Yeah, exactly. Except that would make me more Mexican, I think.
Do you have white parents, right?
Oh, yeah, I mean, total. Well, my dad's kind of red-skinned, but, I mean, he's white.
So when you go home to visit, are they like wondering what happened to my child?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
I sent a white boy off and a black one came back.
Yeah, exactly. Grandparents, all of them, they say the same thing, so.
That's amazing.
But then I matured out of that, like I kind of got to that new mindset where I kind of, transcended sort of race.
What made you decide to go black?
I just like the fashion.
The fashion.
Yeah.
And the fashion, what's the fashion?
Baggy.
Oh.
I like to wear clothes off my butt. So
Really?
yeah.
And that's what caused you to go black?
No. I just fell in love with a woman who just happened to be black, so.
Have you been in love with a white woman?
No.
You've
no.
never been in love?
I've dated 4 black women, fell in love with one.
Really?
Thought I loved another.
How old are you?
26.
And so you've dated 4 black women already? Would you lived in the hood or something?
When I lived in my hometown, I dated one of the only black women who were in that town.
She was the only black woman in the town and you dated?
One of 2. So.
Oh.
It's a small town, 6,000 people.
And so, have you ever dated a white woman?
Yeah, plenty.
And so, you dated plenty of... You sound like you're old. You've been through a lot of women.
Well, sure, but it's not like, went through them. We just... I didn't just throw them away. There were people.
Amazing.
Okay, let's get to the story. Stop talking about me. Let's talk about gay people.
This is so amazing. Wow.
I love you.
Chris, out of Dodge City, Kansas. Chris, thank you for calling. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, I wanted to take a shot or talk a little bit about the your biblical question.
The biblical question, do you believe in interracial dating and marriage?
So this really came home. My wife is Cambodian. I'm white in Spanish, white Spanish. So my daughter had a birthday party on Sunday, and there were 9 boys, 1 girl that came. All of them were not one white person, white skinned person. And so I had thought about this for a long time, knowing that because we're biracial family or whatever you want to call it now, wondering what the challenges were going to be with that. And I have to say I believe in it, but I wonder sometimes if I don't believe in it for my children. You know what I mean?
So you believe in it for you, but not necessarily for your children?
Yeah, isn't that something?
And why would you believe in it for you if not for your children?
Well, it's worked for me, and it's worked for our family. And so I guess in some ways I believe in it, but there's like confusion with my children. Sometimes, they claim to be Asian when it's convenient to be Asian, and then they claim to be white when it's convenient, when it's good to be white. You know what I mean?
And so what has happened? It sounds like by being interracially married, you've created problem for your children.
A little bit, I think so.
Yeah.
In some ways, yes. In other ways, it's like a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag.
Why would what would cause you to, have you ever been married or dated white women?
Yeah, I dated 4 or 5 white women in college.
And why would you choose to marry a non-white woman?
I think it was the woman. I'm a missionary. I was a missionary. I was in the mission field, so it was, that's how I met her. And then, but I'm going to tell you, the women that I dated in college, they weren't going. They weren't those weren't going to go anywhere.
And why not? Why not?
Though their mothers were way overly involved. They were. One of the girls I broke up with like on the spot because we had been together for like 6 months or dating for 6 months because I had cussed. Not even a bad cuss word, and she just threw a fit in front of all my friends and right in front of all those people, and it was just little things like that. Now the woman that I married.
So is that what drove you to an Asian woman because of the bad relationship with white women?
I was looking for women with traditional values. And I just wasn't finding it. Even at a religious school, I just wasn't finding it with the white girls.
Amazing. And so
They just did not have. They believed in abortion. The stuff that they believed in, as you get in to get to know a person a little bit more and more, which is what dating is for. You don't just go and marry somebody, right? But they believed in all kinds of stuff that was just crazy. And then when you have their mama come and trying to run your life, and you're just dating her.
Your mother was a white woman, right?
Yeah, she was Spanish. She's a white Spaniard.
And so did she have a bad
European.
attitude as well?
She died in 2009.
Did she have a bad attitude?
She had some things. I made sure I made
Hold
sure
on, Chris. Hold on. Back in a moment. And Chris, you said that you are married to an Asian woman and you had dated some white women while in college, and their mother was too involved in their lives and they supported abortion and all that. Is it true that Asian women tend to support abortion more than white women?
I don't know about that. I think my wife doesn't, but like overseas, I know that they depends on what country you're in.
Yeah.
Like China, they mandate abortions. China does.
Well,
that doesn't mean necessarily that all the women there support it.
Right.
And I just that hasn't been my experience, but I just don't know.
Asian women voted.
My wife isn't all for it.
Asian women voted 83% for Hillary and 15% for Trump. 79% of Asian women voted for Obama. So they tend to lean to
liberal.
Yeah. But your wife is not liberal?
Well, she's not, but she's not from here, we met over there.
Okay.
And she's 100%. Look, I'm all for interracial marriage because my wife makes me lunch. She cleans my drawers. And she's gorgeous, all right? But that's like the extent of it. When I had these boys coming over to my house, 9 boys, 1 girl, not one of them white, mind you, it just really kind of hit home to me. And then you were talking about it on church on Sunday, and then it came up. And I knew I'd have to deal with this eventually, but I thought, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? How do you, what do you do about this?
And just before the break, you were saying that your mother was a mess.
Oh, yeah, that lady. I love her. I loved her. She died. But, she was like your typical baby boomer, drugs, sex, rock and roll, that kind of thing.
So
I don't know about the sex part, but I know about the other stuff.
So do you think having a messy mama could have turned you away from marrying white women?
I don't know. In some ways, yeah. I think in some ways, because there were a couple of white girls, but they were just way out of my league. You know what I mean?
When you say out of your league, what do you mean?
Oh, they were, they came from, the parents were millionaires and things like that.
Oh, I see.
They were just absolutely gorgeous. And, back then I was 115 pounds wet. I had to run around the shower to,
Are you able to handle white women?
Yeah, I do, but they don't like how I handle them. And I think it's because I learned a lot from just from being a missionary. You see how it's done in other places.
So your father didn't handle your mother in the proper way?
No, he didn't.
Oh, I see.
He had a really bad drinking problem.
He was a beta male?
Yeah, he really was.
Oh.
He really was. He was here this weekend.
Your father?
Yeah.
So are you close to him?
Years old.
Are you close to him?
As close as I can. He's got Alzheimer's and all of that. But
okay.
He's forgetful now and everything. But 78 years old and still drinks a case a day of beer.
Amazing.
For like my whole life, I tried to get him not to, to get him to stop drinking. And then one day I just said, about 15 years ago, 12 years ago, I just said, that's just, nothing you can do about that.
That's right. So you love him?
Yeah, I do. I love him.
Right on. Chris, thanks for your call. I appreciate it.
Yep. Take care.
All right, buddy. Mm-hmm. Amazing. Torin is from Philadelphia. Torin, thank you for calling. You're on the air. Get it off your chest.
So I wanted to take a crack at your biblical question.
Do you believe in interracial dating and marriage?
Yes. My answer is yes, I do. My parents were interracially married. They created me, and I'm in an interracial relationship right now.
And so your parents, what race were your parents? What race were your parents?
Yeah, my father was black and my mother was white.
So how has it been for you growing up as a mixed race child?
In all honesty, rough. As I told you in a previous call when I met you, when I called you the second time, my parents' divorce really had a heavy toll on myself mentally and spiritually.
Right.
I had a lot of doubt and worry. I felt like I was being pulled in different directions because of my race. And I was actually listening to your church service. Someone in your group said the same thing because they were multiracial as well.
Yeah.
It is kind of a problem with multiracial children. You feel like you're being pulled by your different identities.
Yes.
But eventually I was able to overcome that because I realized by reflecting inward and knowing myself that what that stemmed from wasn't because of race or anything physical. It was because of the spiritual damage I endured from my parents' divorce and the after effects of that, of them bickering and talking poorly about each other to me.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Man. I found, the good inside myself to approach them and forgive them and to apologize for being mad at them. I was able to move past that, and I overcame that sense of, I guess you would call it self-sabotage, where your identity is being part black, part white, pulling you apart. I was able to overcome that, and I, honest to God, I don't feel it anymore. It's completely gone.
That's right.
So I do, in conclusion, I do believe interracial marriage and relationships exist. They can work. The child, the product of that relationship can work. You just have to be one with God and overcome those identities, the racial identities, the gender identities, whatever you want to say. I mean, you say this all the time. It's about the spiritual.
Yes.
And when you align yourself spiritually, these things don't matter. That stuff isn't part of the natural state of being.
That's right. It's so amazing how all those things disappear, and you realize it was all a lie. It was an illusion. This whole gender identity and all this crap that you've been taught has been wrong. And
absolutely,
everybody who is suffering are suffering due to the anger. And 99.999, not all the time, but 999.9, but not all, it comes from the home first, from the parents, and most of the time from the mother. So I get this text from a friend of mine. He said, I do not believe in interracial marriage. There is not any alien race that we can mix with right now. There's only one race on earth, the human race. So he did not answer my question. The question is, and this is a good, this guy, we've been friends since his little kids were very little. And smart guy, but he didn't answer the question. I didn't ask if he believed if we were a human race or alien race. Do you want to mix with race? Oh, but he did say, I apologize, he did say, I do not believe in interracial marriage. There is not an alien. Okay, he did answer. I'm sorry, my friend. So I hope you and your wife have me over for dinner again. He did say, I do not believe in interracial marriage because he doesn't believe there's an alien race. And so that we're all just human. Amazing. Let's go to Joe, a first-time caller out of Barstow, California.
First of all, I'm a Christian.
Yes.
And talking about the interracial marriage situation, I have known many people, black and white and brown, everyone's interracial marriage. And marriage is a difficult institution to begin with. I don't care, even if all the people had the same political views, religious views, socioeconomic views, theological views, philosophy. even with all those things being the same, marriage is still a difficult institution.
Yes.
And when you start adding other areas of difficulty into it, it creates more and more problems.
Yes.
And I've known black people, white people, intermarrying, male, female, either way, and it can work. But the people really have to work at it to make it happen. And generally speaking, all the situations with kids that I have known who've come from biracial marriage situations, the kids always have a difficult time because other kids at school or brothers or sisters or whatever the situation is are always talking about them. I have a son married to a lady from Guadalajara, and she was previously married and had children of all Mexican-type descent. And the ones who were the older kids talked to the younger kids that were biracial, white and Mexican, and calling them, what do you call them? Coconuts. They're calling them coconuts because they say you're brown on the outside and white on the inside.
That's like an Oreo cookie.
Yeah.
I've been called Oreo cookie.
Yeah. And that's just wrong to do kids that way, but kids are kids.
That's
They're going
right.
to talk bad, and it makes it difficult. So I don't have a real problem with it in terms of interracial marriage, but I just think people ought to realize that today, even still today, there's a lot of animosity about the interracial thing. And a good friend of mine, a black guy, would almost always date white women. He'd been married to a white woman, and then they divorced. And so one day I asked him, we played basketball together and traveled together, and I asked him, I said, why do you date white women? What is it? He said, white women treat me a whole lot better than black women do.
Yeah.
And he explained that if the woman was blacker skinned than him, she treated him like dirt.
Amazing.
And I said, why? It makes no sense. And he was explaining all the things about interracial marriage and the purity of the blood. And so I said, holy cow.
Well, black women hate black men, and black men hate black women because most of them are raised by single mothers, and those mothers hate the fathers, and they pass that on to the boys and the girls.
Yeah.
So, Joe, let me ask, do you believe in interracial marriage and dating and marriage?
Well, I don't know that I believe per se in marriage as an institution, because if you're looking for a totally trouble-free life, you'll not have it being married. And even being single, you won't be trouble-free. But I don't have any problem with interracial marriages. I've performed interracial marriages and things like that. So as far as believing in the institution as such, I don't know. I don't have any problem with it.
So, Joe, I'm black and slow. Do you believe in interracial dating and marriage?
That's a very difficult question just because of the problems that are there. Like I said, I don't have any problem with it. I love the folks, and I work with them, and I would advise people very carefully about doing those things, and if they choose to do that, I support them totally.
So, Joe,
But
do you believe in interracial marriage and dating and marriage?
Yeah, you keep coming back to that question. I don't think it's a wise thing. I really don't. Not that it's against God's word or anything immoral or illegal. It just creates extra difficulties, and people need to be aware of that and work through it. So as far as believing in it, yes, I believe it's okay, but I believe they're bringing in extra problems for themselves.
Hey, Joe?
And, yes.
Do you believe in interracial dating and marriage?
Well, yes, I do.
All right, thank you.
But it makes it very difficult for life. And
why was it so hard to say yes or no?
Just because of the problems I've seen happen as a result of that. Like in your book, talking about O.J. Simpson and Nicole Brown.
Right.
The things that go on and the jealousies that are there and the attitudes that are there, it makes it very difficult.
So do you believe, is it hard to say no, you don't believe in it because you are concerned about the attack you may get?
No, that doesn't worry me at all.
Okay.
It isn't that I don't believe in it. I just know that there are big problems ahead for people who have that because of my personal experience.
Joe, I appreciate your call, and thank you for reading the antidote.
Thank you, sir, and we'll be back in touch.
Absolutely. Thank you, buddy.